Stop pretending you are powerless. Stop acting like life is happening to you, when in reality, life is responding to you. God did not create you to shrink, to hesitate, or to live in fear. If the Creator trusted you with breath today, then strength is already inside you. Weakness is not your identity. It is only a habit you learned, and today you unlearn it. There comes a moment in every person's life when excuses become heavier than effort, when fear becomes louder than faith, when comfort becomes more attractive than purpose. But listen carefully. God does not guide those who sit still in doubt. God strengthens those who rise, try, fall, and rise again. The energy of the universe supports movement, not hesitation. You are not here to live small. You are here to awaken your strength, honor the gift of your existence, and walk with courage, knowing that the one who created you also equipped you. Today we stop acting weak and we start living with divine strength. Strength is not something you acquire. It is not something you have to search for outside yourself. It is not hidden in the gym, in wealth, or in accolades. Strength is your original nature, the foundation of your being, the spark that the universe planted within you the moment you took your first breath. Every human being, by design, carries within them an incredible reserve of resilience, courage, and power. You are created to rise, not to cower, to act, not to hesitate. And yet, somehow, through years of conditioning, through fear whispered into your mind by failure, criticism, or the limitations of others, you may have started to forget your own power. You may have begun to act weak, to doubt your own instincts, to wait for permission or validation from the world. But strength was never taken from you. It was simply covered by the dust of hesitation, overthinking, and self-imposed limits. Think of a child learning to walk. The baby falls, tumbles, scrapes its knee, cries out, yet does not give up. The baby does not think, maybe I'm not made for this. The baby does not calculate the odds or compare themselves to others. The baby simply rises, pushes, and tries again. That is your blueprint. Courage, persistence, and innate strength are in your DNA. The fear you feel as an adult, the doubts that paralyze you, the moments when you feel not enough, all of these are learned behaviors, not truths. The truth is that you were born to move forward, born to persevere, born to stand tall even when life tries to bend you. Every time you remember this, every time you reconnect with the childlike fearlessness within you, you awaken the strength that was always yours. Even in daily life, strength manifests in countless ways. When you wake up early despite the comfort of sleep, that is strength. When you choose to confront a difficult conversation instead of avoiding it, that is strength. When you push yourself to complete a task you once thought impossible, that is strength. Strength is not always dramatic or heroic. It is often quiet, consistent, and persistent. It is in showing up when no one is watching, in doing what must be done even when it is hard, in saying no to negativity, in saying yes to growth. The universe celebrates those who act, who try, who refuse to be defeated by the circumstances around them. Every small act of courage, every small choice to rise rather than shrink, is a spark of divine strength flowing through your life. Many times, you may feel that strength is only for extraordinary situations, facing life-threatening events, running marathons, or achieving massive success. But the truth is, real strength is tested and revealed in everyday moments. Strength is in keeping patience when people test your limits. Strength is in maintaining integrity when shortcuts are tempting. Strength is in holding faith in your own abilities when the world doubts you. Strength is in the quiet resolve to continue working towards your goals, even when progress seems invisible. This is why your strength is so sacred, because it is part of your original design, meant to guide you through every trial and triumph. Remember, weakness is not your identity, it is only a habit. Just as you can learn fear, hesitation, and doubt, You can also relearn courage, decisiveness, and resilience. The mind can be trained, the heart can be strengthened. Every time you choose to act despite discomfort, every time you choose to rise despite uncertainty, you are uncovering your original strength. Like a seed that pushes through soil to reach the sunlight, you too were built to rise, to grow, to shine. The power has always been inside you. You only have to claim it. Look around you, every person you admire, every individual who seems fearless and unstoppable, once faced moments of doubt. Every hero you've read about in stories, every great leader, every innovator, every saint, every ordinary person who achieved extraordinary things, all began as someone who had to remember their own strength. The difference is not in their birth, it is in the choice to rise, to act, to reclaim their power in the face of challenges. You too can make that choice starting today. And so, stop acting weak. Stop telling yourself that life is too hard, that you're not ready, or that strength is for others but not for you. The truth is, strength is your birthright. It is in your nature, encoded into your very existence by the Creator. Every time you awaken it, every time you choose action over fear, courage over doubt, resilience over surrender, you step closer to the fullest version of yourself. You honor the life you have been given. You inspire others without saying a word. You light the spark of possibility not only in yourself but in everyone around you. Strength is waiting for you. It is who you are, who you were always meant to be, and who you will continue to become the moment you stop acting weak and start remembering the power that has never left you. God supports action, not excuses. This is a truth so simple, yet so often ignored. Many of us spend more energy explaining why we cannot, rather than doing what we can. We wait for perfect conditions, perfect timing, perfect clarity, and yet life rarely waits for perfection. The universe moves, opportunities arise, challenges appear, and while we hesitate, the world continues without us. Excuses may feel safe, but they are chains that hold back the extraordinary power within you. You may think, I am not ready, or I will try, when everything is aligned. But let me tell you, God does not wait for your excuses. God moves with those who move, acts through those who act, and blesses the courage of those willing to take the first step. Think about the moments in daily life when you have hesitated. Perhaps there was a dream you wanted to pursue, a skill you wanted to learn, or a relationship you wanted to fix. How many times did you tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow, only to find tomorrow replaced by another tomorrow? Each day spent in hesitation is an opportunity missed, a moment of growth postponed. But the moment you choose action, even imperfect action, you align yourself with divine momentum. God's support is not for those who wait indefinitely, it is for those who act despite fear, uncertainty, or doubt. Even in small things, action creates miracles. When a student studies 1 extra hour instead of procrastinating, doors open, understanding deepens, grades improve, confidence grows. When someone apologizes first, instead of waiting for the other person, relationships heal and peace is restored. When an employee volunteers for a challenging project, instead of making excuses, recognition follows, skills sharpen, and career paths expand. These small acts of courage, small moments of decisive action, are the ways God's support manifests in daily life. The divine does not respond to excuses, it responds to movement, effort, and determination. Many people make the mistake of believing that God will fix everything for them if they just pray enough. Prayer is powerful, yes, but it is not a replacement for effort. Prayer without action is like planting seeds on a dry and cultivated field. The seeds may have potential, but without water, sun, and care, nothing grows. God's support works like this. You plant the seed through action, and the divine nourishes it, making it flourish beyond what you could have imagined. You cannot sit still and expect miracles. You must take the first step, even when the path is unclear, even when the outcome is uncertain. Look at life around you. People who achieve greatness do not wait for circumstances to be perfect. They act first, learn along the way, and allow divine support to guide their steps. The person who starts exercising despite being out of shape, the entrepreneur who launches a small idea without all the resources, the artist who creates imperfectly before mastery arrives. All of them are walking examples of God supporting action. The key is to start, to move, to take responsibility for your own progress. Waiting for perfection is the enemy of growth, while action, even small and imperfect, invites divine help. Excuses are often dressed as valid reasons. I don't have time, I don't have resources, I will try later. But these are illusions that keep you stagnant. Real strength and divine support are revealed when you act despite limitations. When you take one step forward even with limited knowledge, even with scarce resources, even with fear in your heart, the universe aligns. Doors open that you never saw coming. Opportunities appear that you never imagined. People notice your effort and life begins to respond. Action calls in support. Excuses call in regret. Consider your own experiences. How many times have you started something hesitantly, unsure if it would work, and discovered that the very act of trying created momentum? Perhaps you tried a new hobby, a new job, or a new routine, and the more you acted, the easier it became. Each action built confidence, revealed opportunities, and created a chain reaction of progress. This is how God supports action. It is not a promise that life will be without challenges, but a guarantee that effort aligned with courage and faith creates results far greater than waiting and overthinking ever could. The truth is, action is a language the universe understands. Every choice you make, every step you take, signals your commitment to life, to growth, and to purpose. God supports that commitment. The divine energy flows to those who act, to those who risk failure for progress, to those who refuse to let excuses define them. And the beauty of this truth is that action does not have to be grand. It can start with a single deliberate, courageous step. Write that book, make that phone call, apologize, speak your truth, apply for that opportunity, take the first step toward a healthier life. Each small action is a signal to the universe, and God will meet you there. So stop waiting, stop overthinking. Stop letting excuses steal your power and time. God supports action, not excuses. Your move today, however small, is the spark that will ignite a chain of events leading to growth, transformation, and success. Take T, each step, plant the seed, begin the journey. Divine support is already moving alongside you. All it needs is for you to act. The moment you do, you awaken your potential, claim your strength, and align your life with the infinite possibilities that God has already prepared for you. Responsibility awakens power. There is a profound truth in this. The moment you stop blaming others, stop pointing fingers, and stop hiding behind circumstances, that is the moment your real strength begins to emerge. Responsibility is not a burden. It is the key that unlocks your inner potential, the gateway through which you step into your true self. When you take responsibility for your life, for your actions, your choices, your dreams, and even your failures, you are no longer a passenger in your own journey. You become the driver. You become the leader of your own destiny. Every human being has been given the gift of life, but it is responsibility that transforms that gift into power. Look around in everyday life. A teenager who owns their studies, even when it is hard, begins to shine academically. They no longer wait for parents to push them or teachers to guide them every step of the way. They take charge of their learning, and suddenly results start to reflect effort. A professional at work who stops blaming colleagues, management, or the economy for lack of progress and instead focuses on what they can do today, tomorrow, and the next day starts to create opportunities that seemed impossible before. Responsibility is the bridge between what is and what can be. Many people fear responsibility because it requires courage. To take responsibility is to admit that the outcomes of your life are in your hands. It is to say, I am in charge of my thoughts, my actions, my habits, my reactions, and my results. It is far easier to complain about luck, fate, or other people than to concentrate on your own role in the story of your life. But here's the secret. The moment you embrace responsibility, you also embrace freedom. Because when you accept that you have the power to influence your life, you stop being a victim and start being a creator. That is when power awakens. The power to choose, to act, and to transform your reality. Everyday examples show us the magic of responsibility. A parent who takes responsibility for the emotional well-being of their children, even in challenging circumstances, creates a foundation of love and resilience that lasts a lifetime. A friend who owns their words and promises instead of making excuses builds trust and loyalty. Even in small ways, responsibility transforms ordinary actions into extraordinary results. When you acknowledge your role in every situation, you stop feeling helpless and start feeling empowered. You begin to realize that no circumstance, no person, no event has the power to define you unless you allow it. Responsibility also awakens courage. Think of a person who faces a mistake at work. They could hide it, blame someone else, or pretend it didn't happen. But when they take responsibility, admit the mistake, and work to correct it, something remarkable happens. They gain respect, trust, and confidence. They discover a strength they didn't know existed. Life rewards those who step up. Divine energy, the guiding force of the universe, flows toward those who claim responsibility because they are aligned with growth, integrity, and purpose. God supports those who act with accountability, those who rise despite the fear of failure, those who refuse to pass the burden of life on to others. Responsibility is also deeply tied to your dreams. Every person who has achieved something meaningful in life did so because they claimed responsibility for their vision. They did not wait for someone else to make it happen. They did not blame circumstances for delays or failures. They took ownership. They said, "This is my life, my dreams, my work, my responsibility, and I will see it through." This is why responsibility is not just about handling mistakes or challenges. It is about actively shaping your life. Power is the natural result of taking responsibility for your purpose. Consider everyday life again. A person trying to improve their health could blame a busy schedule or lack of energy. But someone who takes responsibility says, "I will make time. I will start small. I will move today, eat better today, and invest in myself every day." That sense of ownership transforms health goals into achievements. Similarly, a person in debt who refuses to blame the economy, bad luck, or their upbringing, and instead takes responsibility by creating a plan, learning new skills, and working diligently, begins to regain control. Each step, each small action fuels confidence and awakens a deep, unstoppable power. The most inspiring truth about responsibility is that it transforms fear into opportunity. When you are accountable for your life, you stop running from challenges. You face them head on because you know that every action you take has the potential to change your story. Fear no longer paralyzes you. It becomes a signal to step up. Weakness cannot survive in the presence of responsibility because responsibility demands action, clarity, and courage. So, if you truly want to awaken your power, start with this simple but profound step. Own your life. Stop blaming others for your struggles. Stop avoiding what you know you must do. Stop waiting for someone else to save you or fix your circumstances. God, the universe, or the energy of life supports those who act with integrity and accountability. Power is not given, it is claimed. And the first step to claiming it is taking responsibility for every part of your journey, your thoughts, your actions, your dreams, and your results. The moment you do, something extraordinary happens. You stop feeling weak, you start feeling alive, and you realize that true strength has always been within you. Responsibility awakens power, not tomorrow, not when things are easier, but the moment you decide to step up today. Fear is one of the most natural emotions you will ever feel. Yet it is also one of the most deceptive. Fear is not a sign that you are weak. It is a sign that you are alive. It is the signal that something matters, that growth is possible, and that your potential is calling you. The key is not to avoid fear, because fear cannot be avoided, but to face it, to step into it, to stare it in the eye and walk forward anyway. When you face fear, it shrinks. It loses its power over you. And in that moment, divine strength begins to flow through you. God, the source of courage and resilience, supports those who confront fear with action, not those who let it control them. Think of a child learning to swim. The child is afraid of the water. The surface looks unfamiliar and intimidating. Every instinct says, stay on the edge, stay safe. But the moment the child steps in, guided by trust and determination, something remarkable happens. The fear begins to fade. With each stroke, confidence grows. The water, once a source of terror, becomes a source of joy, freedom, and empowerment. Life works the same way. Fear exists to be faced, and courage is awakened each time you step into the very thing that frightens you. In daily life, fear can show up in many forms. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown, fear of making the wrong decision. It whispers, you cannot do this, or what if it goes wrong? But every time you act despite fear, you discover that it is far smaller than your mind imagined. Fear is a shadow, powerful only if you stand still. The moment you move forward, it begins to shrink. Consider a person starting a new career, switching jobs, or learning a new skill. At first, fear paralyzes them. They think about rejection, mistakes, or criticism. But the first step, submitting the application, taking the class, speaking up in a meeting, diminishes the fear. Action transforms anxiety into confidence, doubt into clarity, and hesitation into momentum. Fear also tests your faith and resilience. There is a divine principle here. God's strength is revealed when you face your fears, not when you hide from them. Life will always present situations that challenge you, push you to your limits, and force you to confront uncertainty. If you retreat, fear grows. But if you rise, even slightly, even imperfectly, courage is amplified. Every challenge you face with faith, every risk you take with integrity, every moment you refuse to be paralyzed by fear, brings you closer to your true potential. Fear is temporary. The strength it uncovers in you is permanent. Consider the example of public speaking. Standing in front of an audience can terrify most people. The fear of judgment, the fear of forgetting words, the fear of rejection, all of it can feel overwhelming. Yet countless individuals have faced this fear repeatedly. They start small, perhaps speaking to a few friends, then a small group, then a larger audience. Each time they confront fear, it shrinks, replaced by confidence, clarity, and influence. Fear is not removed immediately. It is weakened by repeated action. The same principle applies to every area of life: health, relationships, finances, personal growth, any arena where fear exists. Facing it directly is the only path to freedom. Fear also has a way of masking opportunity. Often, the thing we fear most is exactly what we need to do. Grow. The person afraid to leave a toxic environment, the person hesitant to express their truth, the person doubting their potential to pursue a dream. All of them encounter fear as the doorway, not the wall. God supports those who choose courage over comfort. The moment you step forward, you align with a divine current that transforms fear into possibility, weakness into strength, and hesitation into action. Fear, when faced, becomes a teacher, a motivator, and a guide rather than a jailer. In everyday life, fear often manifests in small, repetitive ways. Sending that important message, confronting a colleague, making a difficult financial decision, apologizing first, or asking for help. These moments may seem minor, but each one is an opportunity to face fear and discover your inner power. The person who consistently faces small fears builds a reservoir of courage for the big challenges. Courage, like a muscle, grows stronger with practice. Every step into fear is a step into the alignment of purpose, the awakening of potential, and the manifestation of divine support in your life. The ultimate lesson is simple but profound. Fear is temporary, but strength is eternal. Fear only controls you when you avoid it. The moment you confront it, even in the smallest way, it begins to shrink. God's energy flows most powerfully through those who refuse to be paralyzed, who act despite uncertainty, and who embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. Every challenge you face, every fear you confront, is a step closer to the life you were created to live. The more fear you face, the more power you awaken, and the more aligned you become with the purpose, guidance, and support that the universe has always offered you. So, do not wait for fear to disappear. Do not wait for courage to appear magically. Step forward now. Take one action, face one fear, and watch as it shrinks. With every step you reclaim your power, awaken divine strength, and discover that fear was never a barrier. It was an invitation. The invitation to rise, to grow, to shine, and to live a life that reflects the courage, resilience, and strength that God has placed within you. Discomfort is not a curse. It is a sign that you are growing, stretching beyond old limits, and stepping into the life you were created to live. Life rarely asks you to remain comfortable. Comfort is safe, predictable, and easy, but it does not create greatness. Growth, purpose, and strength emerge from moments that challenge you, that stretch you, that force you to rise above your old habits, fears, and limitations. Every time you feel discomfort in your body, in your mind, or in your heart, know that this is not a punishment. This is the universe, God, speaking to you, guiding you, pushing you to expand, evolve, and awaken the power that has always been within you. Think of a person who goes to the gym for the first time after years of inactivity. The muscles ache, the body resists, and the mind whispers, "Stop. This is too hard." But that discomfort is a sign that the body is growing, that strength is being built, that resilience is forming. Without it, nothing changes. Growth always comes with effort, and effort always comes with discomfort. The same principle applies to every part of life: relationships, careers, skills, health, and personal development. Discomfort is the proof that transformation is happening. In daily life, discomfort often shows up as change. Starting a new job, moving to a new city, learning a new skill, or even having a difficult conversation. All of these situations push you out of the familiar and challenge your comfort zone. At first, the unease feels overwhelming, and your instinct may be to retreat. But the very moment you lean into it, embrace it, and take action despite it, you discover new abilities, confidence, and resilience you never knew existed. God supports this process. Divine energy flows to those willing to stretch, to those willing to face challenges with faith, and to those willing to embrace temporary discomfort in pursuit of lasting growth. Discomfort also tests your courage. Every great person you admire, the leaders, the innovators, the thinkers, the visionaries, faced discomfort repeatedly. They did not wait for ease or perfection. They stepped into uncertainty, into the unknown, into difficulty, because they understood that discomfort was the pathway to growth. The moments you resist discomfort are the moments you stay small. The moments you embrace it are the moments you rise. Just as pressure transforms coal into diamonds, discomfort transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary character, wisdom, and achievement. Consider relationships in daily life. Honest conversations, setting boundaries, and addressing misunderstandings often feel uncomfortable. The fear of confrontation or rejection tempts us to remain silent. But stepping into that discomfort strengthens connections, deepens trust, and fosters authentic bonds. Discomfort is a sign that the relationship is being stretched into something higher, something more meaningful. Avoidance keeps things shallow. Courage deepens them. The same is true in personal goals. Tackling financial challenges, speaking your truth, or starting a difficult project may feel unsettling, but these are the very situations that expand your life, awaken your potential, and bring divine guidance into action. Discomfort also teaches patience and persistence. When you are learning something new, your mind struggles, your skills falter, and your confidence wavers. The temptation is to quit, to retreat to ease. But each moment you persist through discomfort, you grow stronger, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. God rewards those who endure, those who embrace the challenge, and those who understand that temporary pain is the cost of lasting transformation. Discomfort is a signal that you are moving from who you were to who you are meant to become. Even in small, everyday choices, discomfort is a guide. Waking up early to exercise, preparing a healthy meal instead of convenience food, speaking up when it's easier to remain silent, learning a new skill rather than repeating the old. All of these are uncomfortable at first, but with each act of courage in the face of discomfort, confidence grows, habits form, and life expands. Divine energy aligns with those who choose growth over comfort, effort over avoidance, and courage over ease. Discomfort becomes not a barrier but a signpost pointing toward expansion, opportunity, and purpose. The most important lesson is that discomfort is never a reason to quit. It is a reason to persist. Every challenge, every difficult moment, every unease you feel is a divine invitation to step into your potential. The life you dream of, the strength you desire, and the fulfillment you seek